Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dancing Italian Urban Farm. Today we're doing some lotions and potions. We're making some skincare products today. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of get a little more organized. My mom gave me these amazing jars and I love them so much, and I'm going to use them to store some of my skincare ingredients in. So in this first one, I'm just putting my citric acid in using a canning funnel, just an extra canning funnel I have. Um, and then I'm going to label that jar with these cute little labels that I have. And there they are, my cute little labels that I have. Those came with some lids I bought for those wee yogurt jars. I got them off of Amazon. I will try to link them if I can. But, they're cute little craft paper labels. So I'm just going to use those to label everything so that I know what is in what. Trying to figure out the best place to put it. Anyway, the next one I'm going to do is my menthol. I'm going to put that one in, of course, the blue one, because duh. That one I actually kind of had to twist the lid a little bit to get the wire to pop in order to get the lid off. But like I said, these are old jars that my mother had, and she didn't want them anymore. She wasn't using them. And so she asked me if I wanted them, and I said yes, because I have a use for them. I'm using them as storage containers for I guess you could call this my home apothecary. Um, so I'm just going to label my jars and put everything semi in some sort of organized ish looking. I'm doing the best I can with what I've got, y'all, because my husband is supposed to be building me another pantry shelving unit like I have for my canned goods, but for all of my apothecary supplies and anything else I need to use it for. So, and there you have it. Okay, so this large jar that I have here, I'm going to put my beeswax in because I have quite a bit of beeswax, and it just seemed like the most logical jar to use. I got this off of Amazon, just like I got everything else. I will try to link in the description. It's a lot of stuff though. And some of that stuff, honestly, I've had for a while, so I don't even know where I got it, to be honest. But the beeswax I got off of Amazon. I will try to link that in the description if you are interested, as well as the jar lids that the labels came with if you're interested in those, and the menthol and the citric acid and anything else I can link for you. I will do that as well. Okay, so now we are going to make some face wash. So I'm going to use some distilled water. I think I used about 1/3 of a cup of distilled water. And then we're going to use the same amount of Castile soap. The recipe said to use unscented Castile soap, but I had tea tree, so that's what I used. And then we're going to use some vegetable glycerin. I think it's 2 tablespoons of vegetable glycerin, if I'm remembering correctly. I'll try to link the recipe I used if anybody is interested. And then I'm just going to take my little milk frother whisk thing that I bought specifically for all of my home skincare, and I'm just going to whip that up in my Pyrex here. Get it all mixed together. And now I am looking for my jojoba oil. I'm going to put about a tablespoon or so of jojoba oil into this mixture as well. This is just so it doesn't dry your skin out, because sometimes Castile soap can be very drying to the skin, especially the skin on the face, and we don't want to dry it out. We just want to cleanse it. So I'm going to add the jojoba oil to, add that moisturizing element to it. And again, I will whir that up. And since the Castile soap has tea tree in it, I'm not going to add any essential oils to this. I'm just going to leave it as is. And I'm going to put it into a pint jar because I didn't have a soap dispenser to put it in. Although I did go get one, I will try to remember to insert a clip or a picture of the soap dispenser I got, because it's super cute. That's a super cute one. I will try to remember to do that. And now I'm just going to go get a lid first, so no, nothing gets in my face wash. And I'm just labeling it so I know what it is. And then I'm going to go get everything cleaned up to start my next recipe, which is dog paw cream. Now, this is a recipe I came across because my dog's paws are very rough. He likes to be outside. He likes to go for walks and all of that stuff. In fact, there he is right there. And so I wanted to get something that would kind of help keep his paws from, getting cracked and, causing him any issues or anything. So I found this recipe. It's basically you melt some beeswax, which I'm going to show you here. You melt some beeswax. Wow, that was really, really hard to say. And this takes a minute. It takes a little while. So we're going to speed through this part. And then we're going to add some coconut oil. Now, it was really warm this day, so my coconut oil was pretty much liquid. But yeah. And then we're going to add some oil. I just used avocado oil. The recipe says to use olive oil, but I didn't think I had any olive oil. It turns out I did. It just didn't look hard enough. But I just used avocado oil, which is fine too. And then we're just going to mix that together and get that all blended up and melted together. And then we're going to add shea butter. Now, it's really important that you use shea butter because that is safe for your pet. Don't use cocoa butter. Make sure you use shea butter, because if they lick it off their paw, it's not going to make them sick or anything like that. So there's 2 tablespoons of shea butter, that we're going to add to this recipe, and then we're going to melt that into the blend that we're making. I bought this little double boiler off of Amazon. As I said before, if I can find a link to it, I will link it for you below. Something really got his tail in a twist. He'll be all right. But yeah, we're just going to mix all that together until the shea butter has melted into the wax and oil mixture. And then we're going to take it off of the stove and set it on a heat-proof mat. And then we're going to add some vitamin E oil. I said 10 drops. I did approximately 10 drops because I have a little squirt bottle for mine, but vitamin E oil, and then we're going to pour it into our containers. I just used some of these wee jars that I had because they're glass jars, and I, for some reason, cannot bring myself to throw away a glass jar. So I'm going to pour this mixture um, into two of these wee jars. And then you just set it aside to cool and harden, and it just becomes this very lovely, velvety, emollient balm. Yeah, it's really nice. He's still getting used to it, but he'll be all right because you know. I mean, you could use it on your hands too. If your hands get really chapped in the wintertime, this would be great to use on your own hands, to be honest. And now we're going to make my makeup removing oil. What I'm doing here is I am taking some tea. This is a passion flower tea blend, an organic passion flower tea blend. That was hard to say. And then a black tea that has lavender in it. And I'm going to put it into this um, quart jar here. And then I'm going to pour oil over it. I have used grapeseed oil before. That works really, really well. This time I'm using a mixture of sweet almond oil and safflower oil. So I'm going to pour this whole container of sweet almond oil in here. I don't know why that is so satisfying to watch, but it is. Definitely is. And then I am going to top it off with the safflower oil. Maybe. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, topping it off with some. Oh, I added jojoba oil. That's what it was. I added some jojoba oil. And then I'm going to top it off with safflower oil. That's what it was. Okay. Yeah, so it's just kind of a little blend here. And yeah, and then I'm just going to put a lid on it, and I'm going to label it, and then I'm going to put it in my pantry to keep it kind of in a darker, cooler place and let it sit for about 4 to 6 weeks. And then you just strain it, put it in a bottle, and use it. Okay, now I'm going to make some face serum. So this is jojoba oil. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of jojoba oil, and I'm just mixing it right into the little apothecary jar that I'm going to store it in. And then I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of rosehip oil. I made a little mess, so I had to get a paper towel. But anyway, I'm going to put in my rosehip oil. I don't know. I think I was trying to be fancy, but whatever. We ain't going to be fancy. We're going to pour right from the bottle. 2 tablespoons. And then we're going to add some essential oils. So I'm going to add in some frankincense. I think I did maybe 15 to 20 drops of frankincense. Frankincense is really good for your skin, especially for maturing skin. And as a woman in her late 40s, I like that a lot. And then I'm going to add some tea tree oil. Now, I do not endorse Young Living. These are a bunch of oils that I have had for a while, and you know, we're not gonna go into that, but I recommend, looking other places for your essential oils. Amazon has some really good ones. Mountain Rose Herbs has some good ones. Rocky Mountain Oils has some really good ones. So I would just recommend just kind of doing your research. But anyway, so that was tea tree. I'm also going to add a little bit of lavender oil because lavender is great for the skin. And then the last thing I'm going to add is some rosemary oil. And I actually use the last of my rosemary oil, so I need to get some more. But I will definitely probably be looking at, Rocky Mountain Oils or Mountain Rose Herb, or even Amazon for some more rosemary oil. Because that is really great for your skin. Or you know what? I have a rosemary bush outside. I can make my own rosemary oil. I may do that. Anyway, I'm going to add some sweet almond oil to this bottle just to kind of, top it off here. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sweet almond oil, which is also really good for your skin. This is just going to be a very nurturing and emollient serum for your skin. My dog really wants to come inside. I will let him in just a second. All right. So I'm just going to put the lid on it. I'm going to clean up a little bit, wipe the bottle down with just some vinegar to make sure I cleaned all the oil off the outside. I'm going to label it, and then I'm going to put it in my bathroom, and I'm going to use it. And yeah, I'm really excited about this one. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Lotions and Potions. Yeah, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Make sure you hit the like button and hit subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.